Trieste is a coastal city rich in history, culture, and breathtaking natural landscapes. And being on the Adriatic Sea, this bustling Italian city has so much to offer. In this video, we're walking through the top things you need to do and see when you visit Trieste, Italy. The first thing to see in Trieste is Miramare Castle. This place is absolutely blowing us away, and you can clearly see why. Being just 15 minutes from outside Trieste's city center, Miramare Castle is one of Trieste's most defining landmarks. This neo-Gothical castle is perched on a rocky cliff overlooking the Adriatic Sea. This mansion housed European royalty and served as a military headquarters after World War II. While you'll have to pay to tour the castle's grand interior, anyone can explore the castle's magnificent grounds for free. Here, you can walk along the castle's outer wall, which offers stunning views of the sea, or stroll out onto its private harbor to get an amazing view of the castle's striking architecture. You can also explore the massive royal gardens for free, which are packed with rare trees, tranquil paths, and plenty of rocky overlooks from the cliffs. We loved wandering the gardens and felt it really added to the magic of this castle. To reach the castle, you can either catch a number 6 bus towards Miramare or take a quick train from Trieste's central station. The castle is a quick walk from either station, and you'll have amazing views as you approach the castle. You can purchase bus tickets from any of the self-service bus kiosks or tobacco shops in Trieste, which you can easily identify by the large T on their signs. When we visited, we found it was a better deal to get a daily pass instead of just paying for round-trip tickets. So maybe just ask the tobacco shop worker if you need help making this decision. Once on board, be sure to validate your ticket to avoid paying any nasty fines.
Next on our list is to visit Trieste's Unity of Italy Square. Being centrally located, this is a great spot to get your bearings in Trieste. Surrounded by beautiful buildings, this square is lively with bustling cafes, shops, and occasional festivals. While here, you'll find locals walking their dogs, as well as tourists admiring the grand views. And while you're nearby, be sure to wander along the seaside boardwalk to get some stunning views of the sea, the piazza, and the beautiful harbor. And it's also beautifully lit up at night.
We're at the Unity of Italy Square in Trieste. This is what I think is considered the main area of Trieste, and it is absolutely gorgeous. A couple of the buildings in the square are the Opera House and the City Hall, and this is actually considered the largest seafront square in all of Europe. And boy, when you're here on a sunny day, it is beautiful.
One of the newest additions to the Trieste skyline, or sea line, is this massive yacht out here. This is one of the yachts that was seized from the Russian oligarchs. We don't know how long it's going to be here, but it's been here for a while, and as you can tell, it's a pretty impressive looking boat. You can see it right from the main piazza in Trieste. It provides for a really interesting view. Being just a 5-minute walk from the Unity of Italy Square is our next attraction, and that's Trieste's Grand Canal. This Italian icon is one of Trieste's defining sights, with charming cafes and restaurants lining this cozy waterway. Besides the grand architecture, you can also expect to find small stalls selling produce, kids playing in the square, and an overall lively atmosphere. There are several small bridges you can cross, which makes this a great street to go for a stroll or a walk. So here we are at the Grand Canal. This is pretty much in the heart of Trieste, right between the railway station and the Unity of Italy Plaza. As you can see, it's pretty picturesque here, and this canal was built in the 1750s. As we understand it, these bridges actually used to move to allow boats to move through to create a really productive city center, but now we just have pedestrian walkways, which make admiring the view that much easier. And while we are here at about noon, we've heard it's an amazing spot to catch a sunset, and you can see why. And while you're here, say hi to my buddy, James Joyce. While near the Grand Canal, be sure to pop into some of the famous churches nearby. The Serbian Orthodox Church of St. Spiridon is located on the canal and boasts some amazing details both outside and in. Inside the church, you'll find beautiful mosaics and holy artwork, and this is a tranquil escape from the city outside. Nearby, you'll find the Church of Sant'Antonio Nuovo, which caps the canal and is adorned with its iconic columns and nearby bronze statue of Antonio Santin, who is the head of the Diocese of Trieste. So be sure to say hi to him while you're here. If all this sightseeing is wearing you down, you'll love this next thing to do, and that's to grab a coffee. Believe it or not, Trieste is the coffee capital of Italy, with its unique coffee culture stemming from its history of being a port city, and therefore was able to distribute coffee across the Austro-Hungarian Empire. While there are many famous coffee shops in the city, we recommend stopping into the Caffe San Marco if you want some great flavor and a grand atmosphere. And really quick, we want to give a big thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. With travel so often taking you outside your comfort zone, it's so important to take care of your mental health both at home and on the go, which is why we're so excited to be working with BetterHelp. With BetterHelp, it's super easy to get connected to a licensed therapist who's trained to listen and give helpful, unbiased advice. And it's not just about being heard, it's about finding the right guidance. With BetterHelp, you're not alone in your journey, no matter where you are in the world. You can have your therapy session as a phone call, video chat, or even via messaging, so you can choose what's most comfortable for you. And with over 30,000 licensed therapists in their network, BetterHelp gives you you access to a wider range of therapists than may be available in your area. And getting started is easy. You just fill out a questionnaire to assess your specific needs, and in most cases you'll be matched with your therapist in 48 hours or less. Then you can schedule therapy sessions at times that are convenient for you. And if the therapist you're matched with doesn't feel like the right fit, which can be common when starting therapy, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without worrying about who's in your network, insurance, or anything like that. The right therapist can make a huge difference in your life, but if it's your first time, it can be hard to know where to start. Over 4 million people have used BetterHelp to start living a healthier, happier life. So if you think you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/sharingtheroad to get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. Thanks again to our sponsor BetterHelp. Now let's jump back to the video. Another thing you need to do when you come to Trieste is check out their amazing coffee scene. Trieste might be the city in Europe with the most iconic coffee culture, and that goes back hundreds upon hundreds of years when this was a booming port city with zero tariffs on coffee, and that coffee culture is still felt today. And in this city there are tons and tons of amazing coffee shops. We're in one of the more iconic ones right now. This is the Caffe San Marco, and it is one of the most pretty coffee shops I've been to. They actually do table service here, so you sit down, you order your coffee, they bring it to you, and we just got a cappuccino here and it looks absolutely amazing. One of the reasons I'm so excited to be in this coffee shop is it's been a meeting point for many famous minds over the years. So I know James Joyce frequented this coffee shop, and they actually have half the coffee shop as a bookshop now, so it still pays tributes to its really scholarly roots. And I've heard the coffee's pretty great too. So I'm gonna have a quick sip here. It looks beautiful. Holy moly. It is so sweet and creamy without being overpowering at all. I can definitely tell it's strong, but the flavors are so well blended. It actually might be one of the best cups of coffee I've ever had. So definitely try the coffee, and if you have time, definitely swing by the Caffe San Marco. This place is amazing.
And another cool thing about this cafe is it's actually over 100 years old. So it was opened in 1914, and it was actually partially destroyed during the First World War. So there's a lot of history here, and I don't think I've ever been in a coffee shop with this much history. And it's kind of cool too because we're seeing a lot of locals here too, just working on the computer, meeting friends, as well as people stopping in to take pictures because it's absolutely gorgeous. So I think it's absolutely worth a stop.
Just a 10-minute walk from Caffe San Marco is the next thing to see, and that's Trieste's Roman Theater. Well, not one of the most lively sights to see, it's packed with history and worth checking out. We're at the Roman Theater of Trieste, and this place is packed with history. Believe it or not, this theater is over 2,000 years old, and it was lost for a really long time. It was only rediscovered in the 19th century, and as you can see, this place is pretty big. It could hold up to 6,000 people in its heyday, and even today, they still put on performances here. So really cool to see this ancient history still being appreciated today.
If you want to get some great views in Trieste and appreciate some more ancient culture, you'll need to visit the Castello di San Giusto. Being nestled on a hill overlooking the Adriatic Sea, this 15th century fort is an impressive structure in Trieste. Outside the fortress, you'll find a small park that offers some grand views, as well as interesting sculptures. You'll also be able to wander some Roman ruins, which show how long this site has been an important part in the area's culture. While you can wander the moss-covered outer walls and enter the drawbridge entrance for free, if you want to explore the main area of the castle, you'll need tickets. While we didn't enter, we've heard it offers great views of the Adriatic Sea and Trieste skyline. Still, we enjoyed exploring this area and taking in the free sights and history it had to offer.
While on San Giusto Hill, you'll need to stop into the other major landmark here, and that's the Cathedral de San Giusto Martire. This is a beautiful church located right near the fortress and has its religious roots dating back to the 5th century. Over the years, this grew into a massive cathedral, complete with a Gothic rose window and heaps of antique art. It's free to enter, and once inside, you can appreciate its massive hall, which houses many of Trieste's treasures, such as the halberd of St. Sergius, which is one of the major symbols of Trieste. While near the church, you'll need to wander to the Roman ruins just beside it. You can find many ancient Roman artifacts preserved in an outdoor garden that's free to explore. There's even a small mini museum attached that's free to pop into as well.
So that's all for our Trieste travel guide. If you enjoyed this video, please do us a huge favor and like this video, and subscribe to our channel to see our upcoming videos. Next, we're headed to Slovenia, where we're visiting Ljubljana and Lake Bled, and then we're on to Croatia and several other countries in the Balkan region, so you don't want to miss it. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
You